All right, let's recall some math that we did a while back. Now, a few weeks ago, we took a look at something where we were trying to find the better deal for something. So, here is an example, and we'll see if we can use it to find the better deal. So, imagine you have store A, which will be written in blue, that has $3 for 4 apples. Now, in order to compare store A to store B, we have to kind of understand what stores one's unit rate was. So, in order to calculate the unit rate, we have this thing called a rate, which is equal to just the money divided by the amount. Now, when we do that, you end up with something like this $3 divided by 4 apples. Now, when we divide 3 apples by 4 apples, we're going to get 0.75, and we're going to say dollars for every apple. You'll notice that our apple is kind of like a slash here. So it's kind of like saying, okay, we know that it's 75 cents for each individual apple. So imagine that I have store B here. And store B basically has $4 for 3 apples. For store B, what we did was we would say, okay, its rate was given by it's still the money divided by the amount, which gives us $4 for every 3 apples. So you'll notice that we're writing it as a fraction. And so we just take 4 divided by 3, and that gives us the following $1.33 for every apple. So that slash tells us that it's for every single apple. So based on these two answers that we have here, you should be able to tell me right away what the better deal is. Okay? So I should be able to look at this and say, okay, what's the better deal? In this case, we go by the one that is cheaper. Uh-oh. And we choose the cheaper deal. So you'd say, therefore, store B is, store A is the better deal. Now we're done. To start today's lesson, you're going to make sure that you're going to do a couple of these questions. I'm going to give you 6 questions where you're just trying to find the better deal. Make sure you show me your work on your worksheet so that I can see what the cost for each item is. Okay? And then you choose the one that is cheaper. All right, so on your homework, you're going to have something that looks like this. You're going to have a table. You're going to have column a calculation for column A, column B, and a calculation for column B. So let's call this column column A, column B, and this is the unit rate. And we have a choice at the end, right? So imagine I have, let's say 2 apples for $10. So that's kind of like store A. And then I've got, say, 3 apples for $21. What you're going to do is you're going to take the money. Remember, this is always the unit rate, which is just the money and we're going to divide that by the number of stuff. So on your worksheet, you make sure you show $10 and you're going to divide it by 2 apples. And you write 2 apples on your worksheet and then you do 10 divided by 2 and that will tell us we have $5 for every apple. Now let's go and take a look at this next one. So this next one has 3 apples for $21. So we're going to go $21 and we're going to divide that by, otherwise known as slash, 3 apples. And that's going to tell us we have $7 when you punch that in your calculator, slash apples. Now the question is, which one is cheaper? Which one of these two is cheaper? If I look at this, oh look, $5 is cheaper than the $7 unit rate for column B. So I'm going to say that my answer here is the cheaper one is column A, otherwise known as the best buy. Now, sometimes you're looking for something that's very important, i.e., the amount of distance that you travel compared to the amount of gas that you use. Okay. So let's say that I have car 1 travels 100 kilometers for every 10 liters. Okay. And for column B, for car B, we've got 200 kilometers for 25 kilometers. Sorry, for 25 liters. Now, the most important thing that we're looking for is we're looking to minimize the amount of gas that we're using. So that's this liters thing. So when we do this, instead of having money over a number, this time we're actually caring about the liters over the amount, right? The liters over the distance we travel. So this time we go 10 liters divided by 100 kilometers. Get your answer. In this case, you get 0.10 liters per kilometer. Now, that's a low number. Let's check the next one. So now we go 200. So we go 25 liters divided by 200 kilometers. When you do your calculation in this case, you're going to get 0.10 125 liters per kilometer, right? Now remember, we're always trying to find the lowest or cheapest amount, right? In this case, we're going to end up going with this one here because 0.10 is less than 0.125. So we're going to say this is column A again. Now, sometimes you'll get column B, sometimes you'll get column A. Now, your job is simple. Use your math to figure out the better buy for each type. If I see a difference from your calculations compared to mine, I will ask you how you came to that conclusion.